If you've ever struggled to draw your original characters because you're stuck between art styles or burnt out from artist block, this one's for you. Hello, welcome. My name is Eva, aka Golden Muse, and welcome to my channel. Today we have another episode of Throwback Thursday where I am sketching out an old piece of my OC Husani, who is from one of my original projects, the Omnisource, which is meant to be an African fantasy role-playing game. I know, that sounds pretty big, but it is literally still in the story stages. Just like pretty much all of my projects, it seems. But it's okay. Just the idea that they exist keeps me motivated, and that's all you gotta do. Just keep at it, and one day it'll be done. So yeah, just a little sketch I did back in, I think about 2023 again. And yeah, I think during this time, I might have been preparing for a convention. So I think I was just trying to put enough artwork for this project on like my website and social media, just to kind of buff it up, and also just to have something there for this project, since there's really nothing I can show because it's not finished. Only thing I can do is just post art of the characters, which I hope to do more of on the channel eventually. You know, I don't want to only just do fan art. So yeah, I won't say too much about the project because I think that deserves its own proper video. But like I said, it is an African fantasy, so it involves magic and all that fun stuff. And Husani is someone who has illusionary magic, so he can obviously make illusions. That's his big thing. And he is proficient with the bow staff as far as a weapon. That's what he's holding right there. So yeah, this project's really near and dear to me. It's one of those projects I'm still trying to do proper research on because it involves, you know, it's far from Africa. So I want to make sure I am properly kind of doing the culture and doing everything justice, make it all make sense. But then also adding just stuff I like in fantasies, in role-playing games, and action stories, and all of that fun stuff. So again, I think I talked about this in one of my other Throwback Thursday videos where I talked about my other project, Journey to Maroon, where the issue was finding time to actually sit down and just write the story. And there was a time where I was doing that. And I think back in 2023 or like during 2024, around that time, I actually was doing a lot of writing and researching. But the problem was it was hard for me to do that and do art at the same time because my brain would just get solely into like writing mode and research mode that it's like, art, what's that? You know, sharing content on social media, what's that? Like, it's just, I could not manage all of that. My brain wasn't like organized to like, you know, do all that at once. For me, it's like I get into the writing mode and I'm there. It's really hard for me to get out because I get so inspired and so like motivated just from doing that. And it's like, I gotta do other stuff though. I gotta actually like promote my channel, promote me as an artist. I gotta do all this other stuff. Like I can't just sit down and just stay in this void and write because who's gonna care when I'm done, you know? So that's something I'm still trying to figure out, how to fit that back into my workflow, since now I'm doing these videos again, I'm doing art, and you know, I have to figure out, okay, how do I fit writing back into it? And that's something I'm gonna figure that out eventually, because the more I draw these characters, the more I even like do these videos, the more I am realizing that's gotta come back in, because these stories do need to be finished at some point. So, but yeah, what I can do though is share art of my characters, which is what like I said, I do intend to do more. Hopefully better quality art now that I'm learning how to do portraits, and kind of rather relearning how to do portraits and kind of getting a better understanding. Like I think that art style will especially fit the characters for this project, because that's really how I always envisioned that. So that's what makes me excited when it comes to my improvement with portraits, just because I can eventually do my own characters justice, which is what I want to do. Like, I want to do beyond just portraits. I want to also do like full body paintings of the characters, and typical fantasy paintings of my own characters. Like, that's really kind of the goal when it comes to that. But for me, portraits, it's a starting point. Like, that's where I want to start, so I can get comfortable with that, and then we can go to full body, and then we can move on from there. But really, my own characters is kind of the biggest motivation, really, because they're my characters. So I want to get there at some point. And here I kind of was flirting with like doing a more painterly style. It still really wasn't painterly. It was still kind of like a mixture between, it wasn't like cell shade, but it was very much, it was not, I wouldn't call this a painting, but I was using a more gradient style when it comes to the rendering. And because again, that's just the only way I really see these characters. So I was trying to kind of, I guess, honor that vision in some way. And again, here everything is black and white. A lot of my throwbacks will be black and white, or it might be full color. But when it comes to like rendering like this, I was mostly doing black and white because I was just like, I didn't have the energy to make that color because I knew that required so much more work and knowledge that I just wasn't really doing at the time. I just didn't have the patience for it at the time. I just wanted to just get something out there. And so for me, the fastest way was to do black and white renderings. So that's what I was doing. And yeah, that can work, you know what I mean? But honestly, doing full color is, I think, stronger. But this was fine for me at the time, And I mean, I think I'm still pretty happy with this one. I like how this one came out. It's not, and at least these don't take me long to do, really. It's just a matter of having a good understanding of, values and things like that. And then I just always get excited when I do anything for this project because, this project just, again, I get excited every time I think about it because, I'm a huge fan of role-playing games, Western role-playing games, and in playing those games inspired me to do this project because I was just like, I want to see an African fantasy role-playing game. Like, I just want to see that, and no one's doing it, so let me try to write something. That was basically it. And as far as the actual game part, well, we're not even close to there yet, but the story part, that's something I can potentially do. The art part, I can potentially do. So I'm like, let's just start there. So I do have a lot of like little music videos in my head for these characters. I have like a whole custom-made like soundtrack for these characters. And by that, I just mean like, sounds from like other movies, other games, or other whatever that inspire me whenever I'm writing the story or even drawing art for these characters. Just typical things most people do with their OCs. But yeah, there'll definitely be a lot more Omnisource art in the channel. Just, we're just getting started really when it comes to this. So I definitely intend to do a lot more art with them and hopefully get you guys more interested in this project too. And hopefully I can start writing more of the project as well. We'll see. Anyways, I'll go ahead and end it here, but thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you can, I love that you like this video, and if you leave a polite comment, that'd be awesome. And if you really enjoyed these videos, feel free to subscribe as well. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will leave you out with the rest of this painting. Or this artwork, rather. Alright. Peace.